All right, let's talk about the Rams. And outside of making some blockbuster trades over the years, they tend to be pretty quiet outside of that in the offseason. So unless there's a blockbuster trade coming up, which, hey, they have a first-round pick, so there's still time to make some moves. I don't know if this is going to be one of my longer videos, or probably one of my shorter ones, because there isn't a ton to go over with them. But let's still go over it, because there's always interesting stuff for all 32 teams. So this is their cap situation and their cash, currently at $40 million in projected cap space, $80 million in projected cash, which, seems all right. Doesn't seem like an incredible amount. Like we've seen some with a lot higher, but seems solid. But what makes it even more exciting if you're a Rams fan is they don't really have a ton of key free agents they have to keep. If you look at their key free agents list, now Kevin Dotson had a career year for the Rams. Is projected for $17 million in free agency, which is that's someone you got to pay attention to for sure. That's probably someone they want to keep in the building. They did just trade for him, so I wouldn't be shocked if that's it seems like a good move for both parties, right? Just to stay there. And then Jordan Fuller, you'd like to keep. It wouldn't be the end of the world if he left. Coleman Shelton, another guy who I thought played well last year at center for $5 million. I'd definitely keep him. And that's kind of really it. Like they don't have a ton of other key guys. So only having a few key free agents with potentially $80 million to spend, they actually could go out and get a player if they want to. Hey, I'm recording this before the franchise tag stuff, so I'm assuming Brian Burns has been franchise tagged, but maybe you can make a trade to get him or something like that, or maybe he isn't franchise tagged and you can finally, live your dream of getting him potentially. As for guys they could get rid of, there also isn't a ton of guys they can use to clear up space. Joseph Noteboom, kind of the one, could save $5 million. I know that'd leave a lot of dead money, but at the end of the day, you can't do it that way, right? It's essentially he has a $5 million deal. Do you want to keep that or not? Because yes, the dead money you're already paying either way. So don't use the sunk cost fallacy there. But I would imagine they probably keep him for $5 million, even if I don't think he's fully lived up to that contract. So again, to reiterate, $40 million in cap space, $80 million in cash. Cost about $27 million to re-sign all their free agents if they wanted to, and they could clear up another $5 million if they wanted to. I do wonder if, again, do you go out and see them making a trade? Trying to, honestly, a Jalen Ramsey type trade is the move. What's Sauce Gardner up to? Can you get him? I don't think that the Jets are trading him, but can you find a elite corner they could go out and trade like what they did with the Jalen Ramsey thing? That's something to pay attention to, perhaps, because I think that would go a long way. But probably, outside of that, I could see them just making some small moves, making some subtle moves, just getting the depth in the secondary, which I think is something that could really go a long way. There's the other way they can add depth, which is what they always do. Use some of their double-digit numbers of draft picks to go out and, this is the list of their draft picks. As I mentioned, yes, they have a first-round pick. Pick 19, that's in the first round. What's going on there? They have a first-round pick along with 10 other picks, so 11 total picks. And this is what the Rams do. They had 14 picks last year. They're always one of the teams that has the most amount of draft picks year after year, despite the fact that they never have first-round picks. That's kind of their model. That's their strategy, and it works out well for them. So maybe you build the depth this way. This is kind of what they did last year, trying to get these, get a lot of role players there. Usually they trade for the stars and then try to draft role players late in rounds. Won them a Super Bowl. We'll see if it does it again. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on where they're at and where they could go from here. What do you think about the Rams? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.